How to wholesale probate step by step with Rick Ginn. Hey guys, in this video, I'm actually doing a two-part series. This is part one. I'm going to explain to you exactly what probates are. I'm going to tell you why they're perfect for you as a wholesaler. I'm going to show you how to assemble a probate team. And then I'm going to show you the ultimate playbook on how to market for probate deals. But before I get into it, do me this favor, click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share this videos with other people who want to learn how to do wholesaling. So you probably heard the word probate and you're thinking, Rick, what is a probate? Now, a probate is it's the legal process when a person passes away and they wrap up their financial affairs. That's all it is. Think about this. People who own cars, they own boats, they own houses, any assets that there's a title on, if they are deceased, the only way to transfer it is with a probate process. Now, this is the legal process that is regulated by the state and is done on a county level to ensure the deceased final wishes. Now, why we're interested as wholesalers is because we're interested in the house, and probate is inevitable for most people. And I'm going to show you why it's such a great fit for wholesaling. But before I get into it, I want to go over some terminology on the things probates, and then we're going to get into the details. There's some lingo you got to understand. Otherwise this gets confusing. And I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way. And we're going to go through it quickly. Number one, you have to understand what a PR is. You'll hear this all the time. It is an acronym for personal representative. And in some states, it's called the executor. This is the responsible party. This party is usually named in the will, and this is going to be the most responsible member in the family that they trust to carry out their final affairs. It's important you understand this term because this is the person you're actually going to be seeking out and marketing to. The next one is the will. This is the final wishes of a deceased person. It is a great idea for people with assets, really for anyone to have a last will and testament. You hear about this all the time in movies and stuff. It's important. Now, there's two ways. Either you had a will, it's called a testator. That's the legal definition. Or people pass away without a will, which is called intestate. I know it's confusing. I understand it as with a will, without a will, but I'm putting the legal terminology on you. So if you read these documents, you know what's going on. The short story of this, if they die with a will, the probate process is much easier and it's usually much faster. Without it, it is much more lengthy. Important you know that up front. And then you have the heirs. These are the beneficiaries. These are the people, say there was 4 siblings and mom passed away, and they divide the asset, the estate, 25% 4 different ways, and they're the heirs. The heirs do have say. They influence the PR, which is the personal representative or the executor, but for the most part, you're not really going to deal with the heirs other than getting a signature on the contract and on the final deed. Don't worry, the title company will take care of that. So now that we got the simple definitions of what probates are, I want you to understand the probate advantage, because a lot of people go, Rick, why don't I just wait till the probate's all done and then I will get the inheritance list? And I've already tried this route and I'm telling you, don't do it. This is the lazy way. This has nothing to do with wholesaling, and I'm going to show you why. You see, on a probate list, a probate is the property is not on the market. There's almost little to no competition, and I'm going to show you how you can buy it from the PR or the executor within under 90 days before the probate's even done. And here's the part. The leads are free. Now let's switch over to an inheritance list, which I know you guys get marketed like crazy. They're very, very expensive. And remember, a lot of these properties, once they go through probate, they're already on market, and often they're listed with a realtor. There is a ton of competition. There is so much competition, you're not going to get a great deal. And you have to wait anywhere from 6 months to 12 months after the probate. By then, honestly, you are late to the party. And these things cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and they sell it to investors all over the United States. Guys, probates are before the inheritance list. It's important you understand that record. Now, why are probates perfect for wholesalers? Let me go through the reasons, and this is going to blow your mind. Number one, most of them are vacant for obvious reasons. Sometimes they were rental properties, but a lot of times the person was living in there and they were elderly, and vacant properties are just easier. They give you more options as a wholesaler. Number two, there's tons of deferred maintenance. Listen, when we're taking care of our elderly, the idea is to protect them and concentrate on the health, not the house. So a lot of times towards the end, they're padding the carpets, they're making the bathroom safe, they're putting in handrails. It doesn't make the house overly attractive. And a lot of these kitchens sometimes are 20 and 30 years old. There's deferred maintenance, and a lot of them are seriously cosmetically outdated. The PR, the personal representative, is typically going to be out of state. Why is that an advantage? Because you can actually provide them a service and help them at looking at the property, taking care of everything, securing the property, and it just gives you a ton of options in the front and the back end of a wholesale deal. And one of my favorite things is when probates come up, my first intuition when I do it is like, I don't know how to do them, and I don't want to do them because I don't understand them, and I heard they take forever. That is ridiculous. You take the opposite approach. You learn it right here from me, or go over to freewholesaling.com. I teach in much more detail, and you attack these because remember, the bigger the problem you can solve in real estate, the more money you can make. And that is what we specialize in wholesaling. Why would probates be any different? The next one, which is one of my favorite, people often complain how long a probate can take, but I'm going to help you out with that today. But you can use this extra time, what we call flexible closing time, to your advantage because you can go out and find the highest and best offer, and you don't get the typical resistance you get on a regular wholesale deal because the PR is out of state, the property's vacant, it needs work. You can bring a ton of people through there. You can either speed up the closing or you can actually extend it because probates often need some legal paperwork. We'll let your title company handle that. So for this reason, you have a lot of flexibility on how to close it. Now, in a lot of new wholesalers go, no, I don't want to do it because I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, you should lean into it. Probate deals working with the right education and the right team are actually to your advantage. They give you more flexibility. They give you more time. And my favorite part, they're usually the highest profit level in all of wholesale deals. In fact, in 2025, my favorite #1 deals to do in wholesaling is probate. Why? Because they're big problems to solve and they're big paychecks. Almost all my 6-figure deals come from probate deals. You got a probate deal? Send it to me. I'll partner up with you. I love probates and you should love it for this reason alone. So let's talk about building your probate team. And what you got to understand is you don't have to do this alone. So I'm going to take the same track I teach you at freewholesaling.com, and your job is marketing. Your job is to locate the personal representative or the executors of a probate and connect with them. That is your highest and best calling when it comes to probate. It's not to go get your law license, pass the bar, study it, spend endless hours, weeks, and months trying to figure out how the probate law works. I want you to understand it. You can easily look up your state laws. But guys, your job is just to go out and find probates, get the PRs, and connect with them. Anything else, you're not going to get paid for. That is the highest skill set, and we're going to teach you that first. Now, the cool thing is the rest of your team is going to answer the higher level questions where you don't have the skill set and you don't have the complete understanding. I got your back on this. I know it sounds a little bit scary, but I'm telling you, I don't want you to lie to anyone. You are going to help them, and I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to do it with your probate team. So once you know what your job is, your probate team, and I'm going to do this in order, your #1 team member, just like in a regular wholesale, is your title company. Listen, title companies do hundreds, if not thousands of probates, and they understand how to take them down, the documents that are required from the court system to get them done, and they know how to connect with the attorneys to get the right information to get the deal to the closing line. In fact, the title company will give you at least 80%, if not 90% of the information to successfully answer almost any probate question when it revolves around real estate, and they will give you the confidence in the answers you need to fill in those gaps where you don't know the answer. So if you get a question when you're talking to a probate prospect and you don't know the answer, go, listen, let me reach out to my team and let me get that answer. Either you make that phone call right there or you get back to them within the hour or the first thing next morning. Don't make up stuff. These people need help. So you are going to get a team of people to help you out. And remember, the title company has an owner that's often a lawyer, and a lot of these lawyers have a lot of experience doing probates. Utilize them. Your title company is the biggest part of your team. Now, remember, a title company can have 10, 15 employees. There are experts there to help you get those files done. Make sure you're familiar with your title company. Let them know you're going to be marketing the probates and figure out what the process is. Now, the next one's going to be a realtor. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to work with a realtor. I'm going to be honest here, I prefer not to work with the realtors, but every now and then there is a realtor that needs help with it. You just have to understand it. Now, when we work with realtors and we work with probate lawyers, we want you to use the state-approved real estate contracts. That way, we don't draw any red flags on it. You accomplish the exact same thing with the regular Flip with Rick purchase and sales agreement. But sometimes realtors come in, don't worry about it. They get paid their commissions. But if there's a realtor involved, but I mostly use realtors to identify value and go find the best cash buyers to buy our contracts. And often often they're going to give you feedback on how the property will move in a neighborhood, especially if you're doing it virtually. So a lot of times the realtor's free. Just call out, get their information, and talk to them and see if they have a cash buyer. Give them the opportunity to make this transaction easy on you. The next one's a probate attorney. Now, you don't hire the probate attorney. You don't. A lot of times you have to refer a probate attorney, because I find probates all the time where they don't even know how to get a probate attorney. They don't know how to file for it. You're going to find these when you do your driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars. And they say, Rick, the reason I didn't sell the house is because we can't afford attorney. This is your opportunity to present a purchase and sales contract and then refer them to a probate attorney. So go out, make friends with them, work with your title company, and find one that you can help your sellers out. If they have not got an attorney, it's their job to do it, but this is a great opportunity for you to present the attorney. And if you do a JV deal with me and Zach, we'll actually cover the attorney's expense and then we'll have it reimbursed at closing. There's a million ways to skin this cat, but find some probate attorneys you can refer to them in your area. And once again, you are providing a valuable service. You are going above and beyond any other real estate investor in your area to help them out. That's the name of the game. And the other one on your team that I add is estate sale companies, because a lot of these houses are like full of junk, and I'm only interested in the real estate. I don't want the stuff on the inside. I will work with an estate sale company. These are people who specialize in liquidating large lots of stuff, antiques and collectibles, and a lot of junk in the attic, and let them do the work, let them get the money. And then I'm looking for a symbiotic relationship where I refer them business and they refer me business. And if I buy a house from a lead they give me, I give them a marketing fee. It is an absolute win-win. Guys, this is the basics to get your probate team started. And the reason is you want to have resources. The more resources you have, the more resourceful you can be, the more problems you can solve, and the more people you can help out. And you will stand out from all your other competition because they're too scared to do probates and they don't understand them and they're not patient. You are. Moving on, we just go around how to pull the probates. Now, I'm going to just go straight to the source, and there's more ways than one to skin a cat here, as I said earlier, but all information is derived from your county courthouse. So whatever your county is, they have a probate court. I suggest you go out and visit and find out what the process is. For a long time, I had to go and pull the records. I would do it twice a week, and I complained about it. Now, you need to be patient with these people because you have to kill them with kindness. Running them over is not going to get you anything. And remember, they're regular people just like you and me. If this is the only way you can get the records, it is a huge advantage for you because people can't pull the list. A lot of other people is in today's modern time in 2025, you can pull these lists online. But if you can't, remember, all information comes from the county courthouse. If you can get it online, that is great. Now, what we want to request, this is same process if you did this online or you did this in your county courthouse. Number one, speed kills. Get the freshest deals you can. The old ones, they're all picked over. It's usually a waste of time. I used to think I could pull a year's worth and just mark it once a year. Don't waste your time because I never got a deal doing that. I always got my deals on the most recent open probate. So you're going to look for the last 30 days of open probates in your county. Here's the challenge, guys. There's over 3,200 counties in the United States. Unfortunately, every county has a different procedure. So you're going to have to learn the specifics. This is where you're going to have to put the work in. I had to go back to my courthouse 7 times to figure out just to get my first probate. So put in the effort. You're going to get some resistance. Overcome resistance with persistence and be kind to people. Running people over won't get you anything. But once we do that, once you have a probate, so a docket, just so you know, is a list of all the probates. Hopefully you can get that, and then you can go through each individual one online or in person. But you're basically looking for the deceased's name, obviously last name, first name, middle initial, and then you're going to look for the PR, personal representative, or the executor. Remember, this is the responsible party that should be named on the will. These are going to be 2 key pieces of information you have to get. Now, some probates have physical addresses of property they own and others have none. And for that reason alone, you have to understand you're now going to have to take that information and cross-reference it to your county's property appraiser site and see if the deceased owned a property in that given county. This takes some searching to do. By the way, not everyone who dies owns a piece of property. So often half the list that you bring back or the ones you print out offline, they don't even own property. Just skip those ones because there's no wholesale deal to be had. Now, you simply get that information and now you're going to market directly to the personal representative, the PR, or the executor. Obviously, we're not going to market to the deceased for obvious reasons. This is the person you need to find. So what I like to do and what I recommend and what's proven over time that I've been doing over 10 years now in my probate marketing. Remember, I didn't start out doing probates. I found them by accident and I fell in love with them. Number one, you want to send them a probate letter. I did not say send them a postcard. They do not respond to postcard. If you want to get my letter word for word, go to freewholesaling.com. It is the #1 downloaded, the most used probate letter. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into it and I've done a lot lot of deals with it, and I tested it and I found out what works. I like each one of you that watch this video, if you go to freewholesaling.com, just vary it up a little bit, because let's face it, if everybody sends out the same letter, it's not authentic. So put your little bit of spin on it. Trust me, you'll love this letter. Go check it out. Then I'd like you to go inside of XLeads and skip trace it. Yes, it's free inside of XLeads, and you're going to locate the PR or the executor and get their phone number. So once we send that letter, it takes a little time to get out there. The next thing I want you to do is, now you have the skip trace, you're going to call the PR, the executor, directly. We call it a warm call. Now, in the second part of my series video after this, I'm going to show you how to have the conversation with the probate PR, and it is a different tone when you call these people. They're not like your typical cold call. That's why we call it a warm call. So we're going to send them a letter, and we're going to do a warm call, which basically is a more formal cold call, for the record. Now I'm going to give you the probate playbook so you understand what the playbook is. So it's so important you understand how this works. So I did a little graphic here. This is my handwriting. Sorry, it is what it is. And I'm going to give you what I call the straight line method to get any type of probate deal. Because a lot of people think you go straight to the probate attorney. You don't. Actually, it's the worst way to do it. So what you want to do is, this is you. You're the coach. I want you to look as the coach. You're the coach in this. The heirs are the cheerleaders on the sideline. They really don't have a lot of say. They just kind of go along with what the PR is. And you go straight to the PR or the executor. The PR is the quarterback. You are the coach. You're calling the plays. Now, on the other side in red, there's the defense. That's going to be the probate lawyer. And you're going to have real estate agents. You're going to have appraisers. And I put on their nosy neighbors. And I'm telling you, they are not on your side 9 times out of 10. And they're going to train wreck you if you try to work through them. So your goal is to get a contract, straight line method, straight to the PR, and get it signed as soon as possible. If you do that, it is a straight shot to the end zone. If you don't, you're going to sit here being playing defense for 4 quarters, and you're probably not going to get anywhere. Now, over on the left-hand side, on the other side is, you'll see the title company. I call them the referee. I'm here to tell you, they are biased because they are on your side. You've hired them, and they are helping, giving you mentoring to you, the coach. It's important you look at yourself as a coach when it comes to probates. Your PR is the quarterback. Your title company is the biased ref, and everybody else in red is on defense. If you understand this, this is how you get the best wholesale deals. If you try to go around and work with the probate lawyer, the agent, an appraiser, or a neighbor, it is going to train wreck your wholesale probate deal. Take this playbook and run with it. Once again, I call this the straight line method. This is the playbook for probate. Now, I want to leave you with something really special that I have cultivated over a very long time. I'm going to give you the ultimate probate marketing hook, and I'm literally going to give it to you right here. I'm going to show it to you. You ready? It goes just like this. Now, this can be said verbally, and we also put it in your probate letter that is provided you in freewholesaling.com. And it goes simply like this. What if I could show you how to sell your property prior to the probate being completed? Is this something you would consider? Shut your mouth and then set the appointment. 9 out of 10 people will say yes, and you've got to understand this. This hook works like no other hook I've ever done, because I teach you the details on how you can buy a probate before it's even done. If you want to learn how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. I have the entire course there, and you can find out how to do this. I've documented it. It's an incredible training, probably the best training on probate ever given, especially for a wholesaler. Make sure you check it out there, freewholesaling.com. This is part 1. We showed you how to get into probates. In the link below will be part 2, and we'll go into the probate conversation, and I'll show you some advanced techniques so you can maximize your profit for any wholesale probate deal. So guys, let me know in the comments if you're going to do probates, and if you got value from this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video on people who want to learn how to do wholesaling. This is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in part 2 of my probate training series.